Hello everyone, I'm back again with a video update with Nomad. So originally I tried posting a video talking about the new interface. You'll have to go to YouTube to watch it. Unfortunately, I got a strike from it due to saying, I think, a certain phrase a couple times. I have another video that has this particular model on there and it didn't get flagged. However, there's a good chance that maybe now with the extra detail that's on it, it's getting flagged because of it. I do not know. We'll find out with this video going forward, because if it gets flagged, then I won't be able to post any 3D models on here without like putting a censor bar on them or something. But this is just a update on a few things with Nomad. One, I wanted to go over a few of the changes and how well the new changes make it for the processing, of this character. So she's been, if I turn on the wire frame, you can see which ones have been quad meshed with the new app and which ones haven't. Like this hasn't, but yet this has, and you can see it's a little cleaner. And then the areas that are broken like this, I can go in and fix that with cleaning it up slightly and then doing a quad remesh, and then boom, it takes care of some of these smaller issues. So what I wanted to do was to check out a new feature on here, which has to do with face groups and this new roll feature with a particular pattern. So I was thinking, wouldn't it be interesting to give her a kind of like texture suit of some sort, like something cyberish or something metally to go along with this. And so what I'm going to do is we go into layers, utilize the layer for this, so that way the model itself stays the same, and then the rest goes forward. The other thing I'm going to do before going anything further is, I think this is the pose I'm going to want. I'm not going to be moving her anymore to adjust her. So to make it easy for the grouping and changing the groups, I'm just going to make this one whole mesh. So that's where we're going to go over here. We're going to select the whole 3D model. Let's turn off these this part so it doesn't interfere with anything, or we get selected accidentally. All right, looks like everything's selected. So then we're gonna join together. So that now makes it into one object, but with multiple pieces. Now the trick is, we need to guesstimate how many polygons we're gonna need to keep this looking as clean as possible. So it shows we have 1.9 for 9 million, so that's quite a bit. So that means we need to match that. So we're gonna go over here, this has to go up, and we're gonna try 900. And so that should start it off with the minimum of 900,000 faces. So before we do this, let's go ahead and save. Always save, right? All right, now let's go ahead and remesh. And here we go. Fingers crossed. All right, so far so good. Let's go and inspect the fingers. That's where all the artifacts will start happening. So when you do this binding, there will be artifacts like that. You see how there's artifacts here? So we'll go over to smooth. We'll just take care of some of that. Over here. Oop, yeah. What do you think of these hands? I think they came out really good. Right, and look, see, some artifacts right here. So we'll just go right in here, take care of that. This is such a great program. I I can get lost in this thing easily for hours, just messing with the model like this. Okay, so I don't want to go too much on the smoothing to take away too much of the these artifacts, because they can be part of the accents of remnants of muscle or texture of the uniform or something. So sometimes they can work for you. And I don't want to take away too much of the system or the what I have from these edges. So I like some of the edges on here. Excuse me. See, there's artifact right here, so we just need to kind of clean that up. I don't like that. Some of this is going to get fixed when we do the next step. So it's not quite done. See, look at that. See? Her eyes. So let's see if we can fix this real quick, or if we want to go back a couple and re-topalize it at a higher rate. So first, let's go to crease, and we're going to invert this, shrink it down, and yeah, I don't like that. So let's go back. Just gonna backspace or undo until get to right there. All right, so this is right before everything. So then we're gonna go to remesh, and that's at 9,000. So let's try 1,000. It's gonna say this is gonna take a lot of memory, so hopefully it does not crash, especially with the screen recording going on right now. I found out that I had the mic turned off for those that follow my YouTube, because I had to do a voiceover of the last video. All right, let's see. A little better, not great. So let's go back and let's try a little higher. There's going to be a point where this is going to crash, so we have to be careful with that. But once we get this, we can then do a quad remesh, and it'll keep all the detail and make it even simpler. So, okay, this is closer. Let's look. It's really close. So we're going to take it back, do it one more time at 1400. I got my fingers crossed it doesn't crash. Surprised. This app has grown so much since its first, I guess, starting level. Look at that. Look how well that did that. I mean, I'm pushing the full limits of the iPad, even though there's still some areas here that are not quite right. But man, it didn't crash either. It looked like it was fine doing that. It just took a little time. This thing used to crash all the time when you try to remesh at these higher rates, especially before Apple allowed these apps to use more than 5 GB of memory. My goodness, you know, I was so angry after spending like, I'm ashamed to say, like almost $2,000 for this iPad, and and then finding out that they limited the capabilities of it like by a lot because they didn't want it to compete with their laptops. Oh man, and you know, they don't understand how important these tablets are to graphic designers now, and they need to have as much power as a laptop and do everything the full apps have, because of their interactivity. I mean, I use on my computer tablet monitor like that, basically is this, but it's really big. It's like 24 inches, and I love the thing, but it's big, and my iPad, I can just take it anywhere. So if it's just a little bit more powerful, I could have a little bit more fun with it and do more things. But if they keep working with these apps in the same way like this, you know, where they're just updating themselves and getting to the point where they can be used in such an optimized way that they take advantage of every part of the little bit of memory they get, and this is coming out to be such a stable system. All right, so back to, I'm looking at the eyes kind of and how everything came out. So that was 1,500, right? Let's try one more. If not, I think 1,500 is the wrong. So let's try 1,700. This is probably the ultimate max. It'll crash. I know it will. If it doesn't, then this is where I'm stopping. I think the eyes will be pretty close to at that point. I really want to get it to where it's this area right in the eye where the crease is. It's nice and visible. The other one was really close, but you could see where it was breaking up on the other side of the face. And then what I plan on doing is two things. One is, after we do a quad mesh of the whole thing, what I'd like to do is break things up in masks and see if I can quad remesh the masks themselves. If that's possible, then the level of detail and more usability, like more, I guess, versatile the model can be. That means like I could set up masks around the face so I can make it easier to sculpt or to adjust the face, and then maybe even add more vertices or in those grouped areas for animation purposes as well. And so and maybe it might even help with retopolizing the whole thing manually for, like I said, animation and modeling. So you can see with the higher areas, the artifacting didn't happen as much. It's still there, but not as and looks like with the higher remeshing, with the voxel remeshing, the smoothing button takes a little bit more effort to get the results I was getting earlier when I had to first do this. Okay, so all right, just kind of quickly going over. All right, this looks good. Let's see, just kind of clean up the eye a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't take too much of the all right, so now let's try messing with this quad remesh, and we are gonna set it more than 80K. Let's set it at 100,000K. I don't know if that's a good number, but we're gonna find out. It'll make a really messed up character if it doesn't work. So let's save real quick. And boom. You know, I should have saved as. If this doesn't crash or fail, I am going to go back a few stages, resave it under right before, and then go back forward. You can do that, skip back and forward on this, which is really nice after something's been processed. Okay, all right, let's see. And I'm not a fan of that, but I mean, see what it looks like on interesting. That was 1 mil. Okay, so let's take that. Let's try something else. All right, we're just gonna go back a few to right before that. I want to save it this way. And then let's go to here and let's hit 3M. Shift M. Oh, looks like is 1 mil the max? Yep, looks like 1 million is the max. Because when I hit 2 and hit OK, it goes back to 1. So, all right. I got an idea. I am going to keep the arms and head separate. Right, so let's go ahead and go back further. There we go. All right, so this is back where everything's apart. If I could have separated everything, but it wouldn't have been nicely neat like this. So what I can do is take the head and neck and disconnect that and attach that to body, and then take the arms and move that up to here, and then I can take the legs and add it to the chest. So let's see. All right, it looks like they're all together, so I join, and then do guess that's 1 million. And so that won't mess with the arms or the head. That'll just be this torso part, right? And that's what we're gonna work with anyway on the this wasn't supposed to be this long. It was, you know, as a little dive into this, but that's fine. I don't mind. If you have the time to watch this, I appreciate everything. Okay, so back to where I was at. Yeah, I appreciate you hanging out. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, back to what I was going back to here. So we have everything here. This is fine. This looks great. Okay. All right. So that's joined, and we will leave the other two pieces alone for now. All right, now that we have that, let's go to layers. That's over here. We're gonna add a layer. We're gonna go over to this here, and I think there's a way to name this layer. I want to rename it. Here we go. And we're gonna name this costume. All right. So this means no effect, full effect. Okay, at 100%. So whatever I do while in this should be the layer, and if I want, what did I just do? Okay, I think I copied it. Yeah, I think I ended up copying it. Let me. I'm just seeing. All right, let's see. All right, now let's start it. I don't want to, I want to make sure I didn't double copy or make anything. So let's just call this again costume. Sometimes you, when you're messing around, you do dumb stuff like this, and that's what it's all about, right? All right, so let's see, how do we want to do this? So I want in this area, which I am going to go with masking, and then we're going to go into here, and we want constant 3D dot radius. See this roll? This is what we're going to use later, maybe even this tile. Okay, so let's first go with this dot, and I want basically like an inner right here. I don't know. I'm just kind of free birding, right? Is that a thing? All right. And whatever I want, I can erase. So what I'm doing right now is just masking out the area I want to affect, right? With the texture. So I know that under the arms, I know under the arms would be something that you would want to have some elasticity to. So I'm just thinking something functional, right? And then I can remove a little bit this way. I kind of want a little bit of this area to show. That's interesting. All right. Well, see, it was creeping under there, so now hopefully I can get a better. Oops. Let's make this smaller. There we go. All right, so if you tap the outside of the map, it will. What? Sounds like my cat wants some attention. If you tap the outside, it will invert the model. So if you need to look at it at a different light, like this, and then flip back, you can. It can help with seeing maybe something that you don't like this. So I have that. All right, and I want to sharpen that area up to here. She's taking a dump or she wants to play. Yep, she determines when, where, and what my free time will be doing. She's a great cat. Yep, great cat. Anybody have pets? She is a rescue. Found her at one of our camps. At Camp Gladiator. I don't know if anybody does that. I'm trying to get myself into healthy shape. It's been a long process. All right, so here, what I'm doing right now is I'm just trying to get this little area nice and clean. All right, because I want to try that stamp thing. So, all right, so now we're gonna go over to the mask. Okay, we're on mask, and we are gonna go over in here, and let's go to something cool. These are repeating mask things in here, so I'm not a fan of. I like that. Okay, that's that like an octagon thing. That kind of cool. Maybe. So I got some other stuff in here. Some of this stuff is mine. Some of this stuff is stuff that I've acquired or made. Let's see here. And some of this is new from the update. So you can see this is stuff that I made here. There's that octagon. We could do a scale mail. Okay, I'm set on the octagon. What about you? All right, so now this should, if I roll it, all right, yeah. So now what we have to do is go into the roll. All right, so it kind of works. I wonder what happens. Oh, I see. So let's try something here. Go to roll. We'll make the lazy, and then spacing. Let's try that. It like almost wants to work, right? All right. All right, I'm not a fan. All right, let's see if maybe it's the settings. So 6% spacing, let's try 7%. So spacing is like how far it is from the next pull. So it looks like it could be this here. This one could suck. So let's try a different one. Let's try. This is basically the same one. Yeah, so we'll just shrink it down. Go over to alpha, scale. Oh, that sucks. So we'll shrink it down here. Yeah, that doesn't look very good, does it? So, man, I'm not digging that. All right, let's try this tile. So I can see, like, I can see how it would work if the image is within a certain size ratio, but I don't want it that big to go in, and I don't like how. So let's try tile. So we'll go back into here, over here, and let's try tile. Okay, that's interesting. Almost perfect. Okay, so let's. Okay, so probably kind of get what I want out of this. So I'm just cleaning up that one little edge. All right, so that's interesting. I kind of like that. All right, so here's what I was thinking about doing. So with the section here, I can invert it like this, right? And with that, I can go with inflate, and I can hit sub, and I can just do this. And you get like this little texture on it, right? Or I can, boom, go back to outside, which I think I'm gonna do. Hold on, I gotta go back to mask. Boom, outside, right? And then go back into inflate, and then hit sub like the way this is, and just kind of bring in the outfit a little bit, just a little bit like that. I have a character that I was working that had something like this that I wanted on her, in parts of her armor, and I couldn't get it right. And so this looks like it could be the fix that I need. So I'll probably be redoing that. I have this story I've been wanting to tell. So give you an idea of my influence for this story is I love a Japanese anime series creator that did the Tenchi Muyo stuff. And so he did a couple of them. One of them was Tenchi Muyo GXP, which was kind of like this space police thing. And then there's also a few other animes that I like that are similar to this. And so the story that I want is kind of like this time traveling love story that has a little bit of a, I don't know if like it would work really, but in my mind it works because of the way I see it. See, I also like Grease, and so I don't want it to be a musical, but there are some things in it that I want to be musical because of the main character and in his position and what he loves, and then and what brings the other character that ends up being his love interest, and vice versa, hers, his, is the fact that they both share this love for this time of genre of music, and they use it to inspire aliens and other things that they get trapped in certain situations. But I wanted cover songs for these these things done differently, and only in certain parts. It wasn't going to be like throughout the whole show or anything, but it was just at certain parts. And the end of the of every story was some musical thing, whether they were playing in a band on a in a weird little alien bar, you know, across the universe, or they were how do you say uh, in like the ship, doing their own thing with music. Like the main character's always writing a song, and then the girl, she's she she sings too. There's a bunch of other characters, and they start getting into kind of different things of music. And this just for the first arc of the story. The rest of it doesn't even really involve music at all. It's basically time traveling and trying to stop these 13 bad guys from rewriting all of time. And and a couple of twists about the main character and his whole role and everything. So anyway, it's a fun little story. But with things coming out lately, this getting to where I'm almost thinking I can model everything, get my models and my reference models from creating the characters 3D wise, and then maybe even making toys from them, so I can have a really huge start at what I want when I start this. Okay, so did that side. So we're gonna go to mask, and we're gonna unmask everything, which kind of sucks, right? Oh, that's kind of cool. That's the grouping. Anyway, so we're gonna go over here. We're gonna, oops. I don't know why it won't let me do this. Oh, I was doing it with my finger. Okay. There we go. All right, so that's the imprint. It's kind of cool, right? It gives it kind of like this little design. And then watch this. So we got that kicking. And now what I want to do is right here on the edge to make it look more in line with clothing. You can trace out a seam right there. And so now it looks like she has some kind of net. That came out better than I thought. So that's interesting. So let's see. Before we go any further, right? Let's go to the layer, and I'll show you how that works. So here's the layer, and now watch this. See that? There, gone, there, gone, there. So if we decide we don't like that detail, take it off. So now I'm gonna go over to this brush, and we're gonna bring the lazy rope in, because I need to get a steady hand to do this next part. So we're gonna go right here, and we are going to try and follow Okay, this is gonna be harder than I thought because it's silver. uh, let's temporarily change the color. Okay, so we're gonna go over here. We're gonna take the silver off. Paint all. All right, there we go. That was funny. Couldn't see anything. Could you see? When I was doing it, could you see what I was doing with all that refraction? I might have to make this in a few different videos, so break it up in different parts, so bear with me. I normally don't make these long videos like this. Might do a live video like this if y'all liked. That. So, all right. What's nice about the way the masking worked is it pushed down on some of these areas that I am kind of tracing out to make look like it's a stitched in pattern, like it's a part, like separation of that and this a little more. Doesn't have to be organic, right? So then and then maybe on this side, instead of having the same, I can either mimic the same where it is this going down in between here, and so I can do that right in here like this, or what I could do is I can take this part of the leg this way I'm not sure. I think for now I am going to save and end the video here, and then maybe hear what you have to say on how I should proceed. Should I mirror this on this side, or maybe make something different with a different pattern going down this side, just so we can mess with that. We didn't really get to the groups yet. I guess that'll be another video. All right, thanks a lot.